Let's bring in ABC News contributor, host and legal analyst at the Law and Crime Network, Brian Buckmire, for more on this. Brian, body cam footage was released by police after community protests and people started demanding answers here. How much of an impact do you think this video will now have on this case?
Well, good morning. I think the body cam video is going to be everything in this case for two reasons. One, the actions of Mr. Walker when he's running away. Notice the officers are pointing at the fact that that turning motion, which is hard to see because we have to freeze it because you don't want to see the mayhem of a young man losing his life. But that turning is what they're going to say is the fear. That alongside the video and the testimony that they're already putting forward, that they heard a shot coming out of his vehicle. Shot plus turn, they're going to use that to explain why they shot Mr. Walker so many times.
This story seems to have a lot of layers from a legal standpoint. One, that police say they found a gun in the car, that they believed at least that a shot was fired from the car when he sped off, but that Jayland Walker was also unarmed when he was shot, and that police here fired more than 90 bullets. A lot of people on social media are now comparing this to the mass shooting in Akron, Ohio, and in Buffalo, for example, where the suspect or the person of interest was detained seemingly without violence. So as a lawyer, what's your answer to those who are asking, how does someone who just killed someone or potentially, just killed a bunch of people in a mass shooting, how does that person get detained and brought in alive, and someone like Jayland Walker ends up getting, 90 bullets fired at him?
Yeah, well, it's a difficult question. It's a difficult answer because it's one that I ask myself as well. Because on one hand, the officer is going to say, at least in this Walker case, we saw a shot go out the window. He sped off for almost 6 miles. He got out of the car with the ski mask. I'm not sure why the ski mask is a part of this or not, but then he ran away. To me, that person seems somewhat dangerous. He may or may not have a gun. He may or may not be likely to use it. But yeah, the comparison with all of these mass shooters, whether you want to talk about Highland Park, Illinois, Oxford school shooting, the Buffalo supermarket, the Stoneman Douglas High School, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. These people killed many people. It's a mass shooting for a reason. But for some reason, officers have the ability to show restraint when stopping and arresting those individuals and not someone who they perceive may or may not have a gun. I think that's a question that's best left for the police departments and how they handle these cases, because at the end of the day, Jayland Walker, yeah, traffic violation, maybe illegally possessed a weapon, but at the very least, he deserves a trial, just like so many other individuals are getting trials. But for some reason, the running of a black man seems to be more dangerous to the community, more dangerous to officers than a mass shooter.
So, Brian, legally, how much is it come down to what happened in the events leading up to when the police show up and try to detain someone, and how much of it comes down to what happens in those moments as police are trying to detain someone? How much is factored in from one and the other?
It's about, if I was going to give it a number, about 50-50, because what the officers are going to say is high-speed chase, plus especially they're going to be pointing at shot out the window, and they may even do a little bit of hindsight being 20/20. Hey, we found a gun in the vehicle. They're going to use that as well as him running to say, we believed he had a gun. We didn't know where he put the gun, what he did. So then they're going to go at the time of the shooting, even though they didn't see a weapon, they didn't see anything that looked like a bulge or him pulling out. They're going to marry the two, what happened before and at the time of the shooting, and use that to try to justify their actions.
All right. Brian Buckmire, we appreciate your analysis as always. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.